Welcome to our deep dive into human evolution. You've given us some pretty interesting material to work with, and we're excited to explore how Homo sapiens, you and I, came to be.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. I mean, with twists and turns spanning, well, millions of years
Hmm.
from those first steps on two legs to the development of language and complex social structures. It's a journey that ultimately shaped the world we live in today.
So let's start at the very beginning. With our primate ancestors swinging through the trees millions of years ago, what set the stage for this remarkable journey?
Well, picture a world dominated by dinosaurs.
Mhm.
Our earliest primate ancestors were small, tree-dwelling mammals relying on keen eyesight and nimble hands to survive.
Mm.
And it's fascinating to see how these early adaptations set the stage uh,
Mm-hmm.
for everything that followed. For example, grasping hands initially for navigating the trees would eventually be crucial for tool making.
Oh, okay, that's a great point. Those early adaptations had lasting consequences. And speaking of big evolutionary leaps, our sources highlight bipedalism, walking upright, as a defining moment. What made that so significant?
Walking upright wasn't just about standing tall. It was a game changer. Imagine you're a primate, accustomed to all fours. Suddenly, you're standing upright. This frees your hands for carrying food, tools, or even infants. You can see further over the grasslands and cover more ground more efficiently.
Yeah. It's incredible how such a fundamental shift set us on a completely different evolutionary path than our primate cousins. And yet we take standing for granted. We don't even think about it.
Exactly. It's so ingrained in our being. But that shift to bipedalism, um, starting around 7 million years ago, marked the emergence of the Homo genus, our direct ancestors.
Okay. So we're standing up straight. Now, what about those big brains we humans are so proud of? How did we go from smaller brain primates to, well, us?
The evolution of the human brain is a truly fascinating story. Early hominids like Australopithecus afarensis, the species famous for Lucy, had brains comparable in size to modern chimpanzees.
So what triggered the growth spurt in brain size in our lineage?
Well, it's not just about size, it's about complexity. Evidence suggests a fascinating feedback loop between brain development, tool use, and social behavior.
Okay.
Take Homo habilis, for example, one of the earliest members of our genus. They were using tools, like the Oldowan choppers, simple stone flakes struck from a core. The ability to create and use these tools, however basic, points to a developing brain capable of problem solving.
So instead of just reacting to their environment, Homo habilis was actively shaping it, which in turn might have driven the need for more complex brains. It makes you wonder, did tools drive brain development or did bigger brains lead to better tools? It's like a chicken and egg scenario.
It's a question that continues to fascinate paleoanthropologists.
Mm.
But one thing is clear, brain size continued to increase in later Homo species.
Yeah.
With Homo erectus, we see brains roughly two-thirds the size of modern humans. They were creating more sophisticated tools like the Acheulean hand axe, a symmetrical, pear-drop-shaped tool, used for a variety of tasks, from butchering animals to digging for tubers. This suggests a capacity for planning and abstract thought that was previously unseen.
Hold on. Abstract thought. What do we mean by that exactly?
It's the ability to think beyond the concrete, to conceptualize things that aren't physically present. For example, an Acheulean hand axe isn't just a random rock. It represents a mental template, a preconceived design that the toolmaker had in mind before even striking the first flake.
Wow. So Homo erectus wasn't just responding to their immediate needs. They were imagining, planning, and creating tools with a specific purpose in mind. It's like they were taking a leap from simply surviving to actually shaping their world.
Exactly, and this ability to think abstractly goes hand in hand with another remarkable development, the control of fire.
Oh, here's where it gets really interesting. Fire wasn't just about warmth. It must have had a profound impact on early humans. How so?
Think about it. Fire provided light, allowing for activity after dark. It allowed for cooking, which made food more digestible and unlocked additional calories. It offered protection from predators. And, perhaps most importantly, it created a social space, a gathering point for storytelling, sharing knowledge, and strengthening social bonds.
It's amazing to think about how something as basic as fire could have had such a profound impact on human behavior and social development.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that human intelligence wasn't just about survival. It was about creating, innovating, and adapting the environment to our needs. This theme resonates even today. Think about how you, listening to this deep dive, are using your intelligence to learn, to grow, and to engage with the world around you.
It's like this drive to understand and shape our world is woven into our DNA. passed down from those early hominids who first learned to control fire and craft tools. It makes you realize that we're all part of this incredible continuum of human ingenuity. But we can't forget about language, right? Our sources emphasize its crucial role in human evolution.
Absolutely. The development of language was a turning point, a quantum leap in human evolution.
I'm all ears. Let's dive into that next.
While early humans likely communicated through gestures and basic vocalizations, the emergence of complex language, with its intricate grammar and vast vocabulary, opened up a whole new world of possibilities.
I can only imagine. What kind of impact did this have on early human societies?
Think about it. Suddenly you can articulate abstract ideas, share complex knowledge, and strategize cooperatively.
Mm.
It's hard to overstate how revolutionary this was.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to coordinate a hunt or share intricate knowledge about plant life or pass down traditions across generations without the power of language.
It would be nearly impossible. Language really is the foundation for so much of what makes us human, isn't it? It's how we connect, learn, and build relationships.
Precisely. And as our sources point out, language wasn't just about, chit-chat around the campfire. It played a vital role in the development of those early social structures.
Ah, yes, social structures. Our sources touch on how humans, unlike many other animals, seem hardwired for connection and cooperation. How did this shape the course of our evolution?
Well, imagine you're an early human facing a harsh and unpredictable world. Predators lurk, resources are scarce, and survival is a daily challenge.
Right.
In this context, banding together wasn't just an option, it was a necessity.
Makes sense. There's strength in numbers, right?
Exactly. Early humans formed groups for protection, for hunting, for sharing food and knowledge. These early hunting and gathering bands laid the groundwork for the complex societies we see today. And this level of cooperation, of coordinated effort, is something quite unique to humans.
Our sources mention Homo erectus caring for their young and Homo sapiens developing complex hunting strategies. Could you elaborate on how these examples illustrate early social structures?
Absolutely. Take Homo erectus, for example. Fossil evidence suggests they cared for their sick and injured, even those who couldn't contribute to the group's survival. This points to a level of empathy and social bonding that goes beyond mere instinct.
It challenges the notion that early humans were solely focused on individual survival, doesn't it? It suggests a sense of community, of responsibility for one another.
Exactly. And with Homo sapiens, we see even more sophisticated social structures. The development of complex hunting strategies involving coordinated movements and communication required planning, leadership, and trust. These hunts weren't just about grabbing a quick meal. They were social events that strengthened bonds and reinforced hierarchies within the group.
It's incredible to think how these early forms of cooperation laid the groundwork for the complex societies we live in today. We still rely on those same principles, working together, dividing tasks, and looking out for each other. It makes you realize that our need to connect is more than just a social preference. It's deeply rooted in our evolutionary history.
It really is. And speaking of building, let's turn our attention to something else that sets humans apart. The ability to create and use tools.
This is where things get really exciting, right? We're talking about more than just sticks and stones here. Tool making is a testament to human ingenuity and our drive to shape the world around us.
Precisely. And as your sources indicate, tools were more than just utilitarian objects. They were expressions of creativity, problem solving, and a desire to improve our lives. Those early stone tools, from the simple Aldewan choppers to the more refined Acheulean hand axes, represent a significant cognitive leap. They required an understanding of materials, planning, and the ability to translate a mental image into a physical object.
It must have taken incredible skill and knowledge to create those early tools. What kind of impact did they have on early human life?
Well, imagine you're an early human trying to survive in a challenging environment. Tools suddenly allow you to access new food sources. For example, with a hand axe, you can butcher large animals, extract marrow from bones, or dig for tubers. You can build shelters for protection from the elements. You can even create art and adornments.
So tools weren't just about survival. They were about improving quality of life, expressing creativity, and even developing a sense of identity. That's fascinating.
And as humans migrated and encountered new environments, their toolkits adapted. We see regional variations, specialized tools for specific tasks, and a constant drive to innovate and improve.
It's like this incredible cycle of innovation fueled by necessity and creativity that has continued throughout human history.
Exactly. And speaking of creativity, our sources also mention cave paintings. These ancient artworks offer a glimpse into the minds of our ancestors and the emergence of early human culture.
Yes, the cave paintings, they're so much more than just decorations, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those paintings, created deep inside caves, often under difficult conditions, represent a profound desire to express oneself, to communicate, and to connect with something larger than
Wow.
oneself.
Right.
Think about the time and effort involved in grinding pigments, mixing them with binders, and meticulously applying them to the cave walls. It speaks to a deep-seated human need to create, to leave a mark, to tell a story.
It's art for art's sake, thousands of years before we even had a word for art. And it's not just random doodles, right? These paintings often depict animals, hunts, and even abstract symbols. What can we learn from them?
They offer a fascinating window into the minds of our ancestors, their beliefs, their fears, and their relationship with the natural world. For example, the presence of animals that were hunted suggests a desire to exert control over their environment, or perhaps a ritualistic element to the hunt. The hand stencils found in many caves, created by blowing pigment over a hand placed against the wall, could represent a mark of individual presence, a way of saying, I was here.
It's like they're reaching out to us across the millennia, sharing their stories and experiences. It's both humbling and inspiring.
It really is. And it's a reminder that the drive to create, to express ourselves, to leave a legacy is a fundamental part of what makes us human.
It's like we're all part of this ongoing creative conversation, building on the foundations laid by our ancestors. As humans mastered tools and developed their cultures, they inadvertently set the stage for something remarkable.
They set the stage for the emergence of agriculture.
Agriculture. That's a huge leap from hunting and gathering. How did tools and culture contribute to such a monumental shift?
Well, think about it this way. Those early tools, initially designed for hunting and processing food, gradually became refined for digging, planting, and harvesting.
Mhm.
At the same time, a deeper understanding of plant life cycles and animal behavior, passed down through generations, laid the groundwork for domestication.
So it wasn't just a sudden discovery of farming, it was a gradual process, a culmination of knowledge, skills, and innovation that spanned millennia.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that this shift to agriculture, made possible by those early tools and cultural knowledge, had a ripple effect on human societies, transforming the very fabric of our existence.
Okay, I'm really curious about this. How did agriculture reshape human life?
Well, for one, it allowed for larger settlements. Instead of constantly moving in search of food, people could stay in one place, cultivate crops, and build permanent structures. This led to the rise of villages, then towns, and eventually cities.
So agriculture wasn't just about food production, it was about creating a completely different way of life.
Precisely. And with larger, more settled communities came new forms of social organization, specialization of labor, and the emergence of hierarchies. We see the development of governance, religious institutions, and the beginnings of what we might recognize as civilizations.
It's amazing to think that something as seemingly simple as planting a seed could have such a profound impact on the course of human history.
It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity, our capacity for adaptation, and our endless curiosity. And it reminds us that even the smallest actions can have far-reaching consequences.
We've come a long way from those tree-dwelling primates, haven't we? Walking upright, developing complex brains, mastering language, forming societies, creating tools and cultures, and ultimately reshaping our world through agriculture.
It's a remarkable journey, a story of survival, innovation, and connection that continues to unfold even today.
As we wrap up our deep dive, I can't help but wonder, what does this evolutionary journey tell us about who we are today? What lessons can we draw from our deep past as we face the challenges of the 21st century?
I think one of the most important takeaways is the power of adaptation. Throughout our history, humans have faced countless obstacles, from climate change and natural disasters to competition and disease. And each time, we've found ways to adapt, to innovate, to overcome.
It's like this incredible resilience is woven into our DNA.
Exactly. And that resilience, that ability to adapt and evolve, is more crucial now than ever. We're facing unprecedented global challenges like climate change, social inequality, and rapid technological advancement.
Wait.
And we need to draw on that same spirit of innovation and collaboration that allowed our ancestors to not just survive, but thrive.
So it's not just about looking back, it's about looking forward, using the lessons of the past to shape a better future. What else can we learn from our evolutionary history?
Another key takeaway is the importance of connection. From those early hunting and gathering bands to the interconnected world we live in today, human progress has always been driven by our ability to connect, to cooperate, and to build communities.
You're right. In an increasingly interconnected world, that sense of community, of shared responsibility, feels more vital than ever.
It is. We need to find ways to bridge divides, foster empathy, and work together to address the challenges we face, both local and global.
Hmm.
Because ultimately, our fate is intertwined. The choices we make today will impact not only our own lives, but the lives of generations to come.
That's a powerful reminder that we're all part of something much bigger than ourselves. We're part of this incredible ongoing story of human evolution, a story that began millions of years ago and continues to unfold with each passing day.
And it's a story that each of us, in our own unique way, contributes to.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into human evolution. Thank you so much for taking this journey with us.
It's been a pleasure exploring this fascinating topic with you. And to our listener, I encourage you to keep exploring, to keep asking questions, and to never lose sight of the incredible story that connects us all.
Because within each of us lies the potential to shape the future, to build on the legacy of our ancestors, and to continue writing the next chapter of human evolution.
And who knows, maybe millions of years from now, someone will be looking back at our time and marveling at the challenges we faced, the choices we made, and the incredible journey that led us to where we are today.
Until next time, keep diving deep.